But this one I'm told is hopeless. Even if I drink all the milk in the world, it's hopeless. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Let me appreciate one of your past presidents, Peter Isile, who got to the top too early and retired when he was ready to become president. He's the youngest retiree president in Nigeria Triennial history. And when I see him, I say when I grow up, I'd like to do like this. Mr. President, allow me to also single out a lady of my heart, one that I admire so much, but because of my Catholic status, I could not marry a second wife. But in our hearts, we know who we are. I used to call her Madam Peace, whether I'm Mr. War, I don't know. But former lady president of the TUC, this is Peace. I was looking as if I don't see you around, then I will say I have talk, I can't speak. Thank you very much. Because even by our height, we have a couple of things in common. And she made history by being I think TUC made history by producing a woman president. I hope the NSC will make history so too, so that labor movement can show that women can lead and lead people better. Yes. So that the political class can copy from the working class.
Our strength.
Great. I'm always afraid of agenda. I prefer the project today. 2023. Oh, 2023. You are not too ambitious, you are waiting. That's fine. But let me thank you, sir, Committee President, for the honor of being invited. And through you, the executive board of the TUC. And also to apologize that I wasn't able to come yesterday. I was determined to be here, but the airlines won't find a seat for me. And I said, given my small frame, even with the boot class, I can manage. But he said, even that one, I'm straight up. So against my wish and desires, I'm not talking like Obu. I could not make it yesterday. But as you say, better late than never. So I arrived this morning, tried to have a little nap, and I asked them to find out if I will be given visa to come to say hello and to appreciate you for what you are doing. But permit me, sir, to congratulate you, Comrade President, for your leadership. And I know from my personal experience that leadership in the trade union movement is a collective. It may be true that only one man name is mentioned as president, but actually, you can succeed only to the extent that you have other members of the executive who are willing to toe the line, even when they hold different positions or issues, a different position on a couple of issues. At the end of the day, once resolutions are taken, everybody is going to fight it as if he was the original promoter of the idea. I think you must feel fulfilled that you have sustained the tradition of the TUC and of the trade union movement by maintaining the unity of the trade union Congress. Whatever anybody says, we mustn't deceive ourselves. It remains ever valid, as it was in 1919, so it is valid today, that united we stand, divided we fall. And I have somebody talking of minimum wage. It was also this Philadelphia Declaration, where even when capital was less aggressive, they recognized that in the interest of peace and stability, they declared that poverty anywhere is a threat to prosperity everywhere. If there were people who thought these were just fine words, fine phrases, what is happening around the world today has more than confirmed that. That those who have so much to live for are afraid of death. Those who have nothing to live for have decided to keep those who have something to live for awake. Why it inflicts no pain for a man who has never known joy all his life to kill him is to purge him of his pay. But to kill a rich man is to deny him of his pleasure.
That's true.
And it is this that has divided the world today between terrorists, non-terrorists, those who kill apparently for no reason other than they are angry with themselves. No attempt is made here to justify murderers, but just to say that for there to be peace in the world, everybody must have a basis to look up to tomorrow. And therefore the work that trade unions do, not just creating wealth and creating prosperity. The other most important role of the trade union, which you do through collective bargaining, is the distributional role of distributing the wealth of nations, so that those who sweat must also have some comfort. And that if the few take so much, and the many have nothing to take, the system cannot be stable. This is your challenge, which has been made more complicated by modern technology, by modern ICT, by a world in which the more productive you are, sometimes the less secure your job. But as they say, the struggle continues. So I want to appreciate all of you for keeping the TUC family together, united and committed to continuing to do what you have been doing, providing leadership in the public and the private sector of the Nigerian economy, ensuring that services are provided, production goes on, in spite of all the disincentive, and in spite of the pain and sometimes hunger in your stomach, you get the will of it returning. Believe that one day, just one day, we will get to the promised land. So I have so much to congratulate you for. And I'm also happy, Comrade President, that you have here on the high table and there your past leaders, which means, as they say in my place, if you forget the past, you are unlikely to appreciate the future. So I'm happy that you are at peace, not only with your colleague on the board, but you are at peace with your predecessors. And one day, you will be a predecessor, and your successor will also carry you along. That is the spirit in which we have managed our trade union movement. I don't know what were the conversations yesterday, but that is my own punishment for not being here. But I know that there is one thing that is in the mind of Nigerian workers today. But before I go to that, there are other small issues I observe that I feel strong about, that I ask you at Nigeria electorate to fight for. And here I am talking to you as Adam Soshomole. I am not talking as the chairman of the All Progressive Congress. But in any event, if I have to talk as chairman of All Progressive Congress, those views must reflect my background, my conviction, my tradition, which the trade union represents. I cannot have another identity. Even if I were to become the Secretary General of the United Nations, whoever wishes to write my biography or my biodata must recognize that this Adams worked in the most subordinated position in a workplace in Kaduna, rising to become a union agitator out of the raw injustice I was confronted with, being threatened with sack on account of my small fee. It was not my choice. I didn't buy it in the supermarket, as you can see. I'm trying hard, neither vertically nor horizontally. Nothing seems to be changing.
It's work of God.
But I'm happy. I'm happy when they say short man, I say, what am I short of? What do you have that I don't have?
I wonder.
Am I already sweating? Too early. You know, I sweat when I speak my heart, but it's also a tradition of blue-collar industry. We work not with other air condition in a textile mill, noisy, hot, humid, and you must do your 8 hours, sometimes 12 hours if you want to refresh your paper away of overtime. So I think there are a few things, Comrade President, that Nigeria must continue, and the trade union movement must revisit. When I was governor of Edo State, I tried to revisit some of the things I've always wondered about. Because everybody says that Nigeria or any country cannot be allied to itself. There are what you call international best practices. I want to start with one basic one that everybody seems to ignore. Experience, particularly in the administrative world. the older you are, the more seasoned. You have seen it all. And so experience is valid in workplaces. It's a basis for compensation and it's a basis for advancement. I want you to revisit the whole idea of young people, men and women, being asked to retire when they are 50 or 52 because they happen to start work
earlier
at the age of 17, like me, or at the age of 18. Nigeria is probably the only country on the planet Earth where once you are 17 years, you have done 35 years in the workplace, you have to retire. And how to do it at 5 years in the workplace? What new skill can you learn? So if you retire at 52, and God bless you with longevity, and you die at 80, it means for about 28 years, you'll be looking for how to stay stationary. Particularly when our pension don't keep pace with inflation. And notwithstanding the provisions in the law, improvement in minimum wage does, in truth, has not translated to automatic improvement in pension benefits. I'm not sure when that will come to be. So I think we must revisit it because it is not in the Nigerian constitution. Our West African neighbors don't do it. I don't know any other country in Europe that does it. What is actually going on around the world is that, particularly in those aging societies, they tend to increase the pension age, not reduce it. And I take example from my own life. I started working at 17, not that of choice, because I couldn't afford to go to school. I had to work to be able to go to school. So if you add at 5 years for 17, I probably would have retired at 51 or something like that. Now imagine if I have not been working. When was I 51? Peter. Take your arithmetic. Long time ago. Maybe about 50 years ago. Now 50 years ago I've not been working. Even if you give me all the food, once I stopped exercising, I stopped engaging the brain, I stopped thinking, I stopped active life, I just age faster. So are we going to accept that Nigeria remains different? I believe this policy has to be revisited. You can't be retiring people just when they have matured. Somebody gave me this NIPS pin, and he was telling me I will have to pay a fine. I was going to ask him which course, because I was course 9. And the younger people don't impose fine on their elders. But I'm going to find out why he thinks I should pay a fine, but I know what he's talking about. But part of this contradiction is that a young man goes to NIPS, he's already done some 32, 33 years. By the time he finishes NIPS, he's 35. He comes to retire. So why waste money on such people? So these are things that are not featuring in labor conversation. I think you do need to revisit them. I can understand somebody doing heavy work that require physical extraction, etc., and you assume that certain individuals have it. But if you are doing administrative work, why will anybody retire? Bankers don't retire like that. The second one is the one you want to hear, and I'm never ashamed to talk about it. The idea of minimum wage was a struggle that Nigerian workers waged. Then I was a young player in the textile industry. I believe I was then an assistant general secretary, when Chief Shagari was president of a government that was barely on the right. And through labor struggles, minimum wage was enacted into law. And I think on the earth, God will continue, we pray, bless President Shagari, wherever he is in heaven. And talking about progressiveness, there were two governors who wanted to be different. And they said because they are progressive in the PROP, they will put 2 naira more than Shagari was ready to pay. And that is the kind of environment we're in, where people want to be identified or categorized based on their policy choices. So many years later, like I told you, I believe in this all one time, but I've said it in many other places. I said, and it is now no longer POA. There were fears that they will factionalize NLC, they will review the labor law to allow as many unions as possible, 2, 3, 4 unions to form a center. Those were Obasanjo's agenda. We fought him, We defeated him, and I said then that NLC and TUC will outlive him, and we have outlived him. And we will continue to outlive every government. And I said then, and I said so with a measure of arrogance, that the unity of my movement is not at the pleasure of the government of the day. It resides in the heart of those who are victims of iniquity, victims of abuse of office, victims of all sorts of things. And it is only that tribunal unity you need to confront abuse of power, and you must guide that jealously. I'm happy that many years later, the man who threatened to deregister us has been deregistered from politics, but you have remained stronger and stronger and stronger, and I believe you will remain stronger. There is nothing more that demonstrates that strength than the fact that working together with the ONSC brothers and sisters, you are able to get this government to assent to the 30,000 minimum wage. I read the story last week where NSC was reported as saying they don't know when the minimum wage will take effect. These days, I try to be careful what I read. Sometimes I have no control over what I read, but I have choice as to what I believe. These days, fake news is a big business. And I said, why will it be in dispute? I think a minister of labor, an immediate past minister of labor, was reported as saying the minimum wage will take effect from April. It was stated by him. And your business is to hold him to what he said. Because he said so as minister of the Federal Republic. And I also know there are people who are not very much informed about labor issues, take time to be the chief commentator on labor-related matters. They will talk about the inequality, the fact that the ability of states varies from one state to the other. Correct. That the level of revenue accrued to states varies from one state to the other. Correct. And the cost of living in different states varies. Correct. But that is why the concept of minimum wage everywhere in the world is meant to be a minimum, not a living wage, because nobody can live on 30,000. Nobody. I can live on it, small as my own stomach is, and I imagine yours must be more complicated. Okay, so the quantity you need to fill in, however poor the quality, the sheer quantity. And the truth is, I don't pay my driver 30,000 because he won't be able to drive if he doesn't eat well. And if he has not been able to feed his wife, he's unlikely to devote all of his attention when driving. So my own security and my own likely self-interest dictate that I pay him well so that he can have clear vision and a good heart to take me to where I want to go. It's not a favor to him. It is my own likely self-interest. So I want to say, and I'm conscious of the fact that there are cameras here, both left, right, center. Those for APC, those against APC. But the truth is constant. I join you today to affirm, and I do here affirm my commitment, my belief, my conviction that paying 30,000 minimum wage is not a favor to be done by a kind government to Nigeria work. The NLC and the TUC must work together to ensure that the effective implementation is not at the discretion of anyone else. And there are arguments for this when I listen to people who talk, often more out of ignorance. I am a victim of uninformed commentators, now additionally in politics. Let me ask, for those of you who are in the construction industry, the cost of a bag of cement, imported or local, at the time the last minimum wage was passed into law, is it the same today? All right. If you come from Zamfara State, and I come from river state. I choose these two extremes. One, oil producing state with huge derivation, the other without oil. The income of Zamfara is probably a quarter of that of Rivers. But when the two governors go to the cement market to buy cement to construct a block of toilet in their respective state, do they tell the dealer, give Rivers price because he has more money, and give me smaller price because I have less revenue? Do they say that? No. Or talking more strongly, many of you work in the Ministry of Works. Some of you at least. Your bill of engineering measurement and the pricing of those bills, what it was when the last minimum wage was passed and what it is today, certainly is not the same. But again, in pricing it, will a contractor, if you carry to Los Angeles and say, I want to construct this building in Zamfara, and you want to construct it in Edo State, will they give you a new price? The cost is the same. So if every cost is going up, cost of food is going up, cost of oil is going up, cost of housing is going up, house rent is going up, and wages is static, is it not a matter of common sense that over time, those who live on wages alone will perish? Common sense. So paying a reasonable living minimum wage is not a favor. It's a matter of a lively self-interest, particularly in a country that commits itself to market-driven economy, where competition is the name of the game and price control has been abolished. So if you abolish control of other prices, what right does anybody have to have control over the price of labor? So I need you to understand that those who benefit from inequality cannot fight against inequality. They will have higher writers to justify it. For you who are victims of inequality, you have the inalienable right to fight for survival, to fight for justice, and to fight for fair distribution of national income. And when people say we don't have enough money, my answer, no nation has enough money to meet the greed of the few. But every nation has enough to meet the basic need of its citizens. If resources are well managed, with God's fear in mind. When you look at the numbers of people who have been charged and the kind of money they have allegedly taken, you wonder, and I ask you to wonder aloud, how can it be that there is so much available for you to steal, but not enough available to pay legitimate wages? It's unacceptable. And people are going to talk about abuses in the public sector, ghost workers, etc. Who interviewed ghosts? Who issued letter of appointment to ghosts? The person himself must be a ghost. And they say this thing dismissively. Every minister talks about the number of ghosts they have weeded out. But not one minister has convicted a person for putting ghosts on the payroll. So it is still in high places. And you must find the voice coherent and put it in the public domain. That in truth, what they call ghost workers is money stolen by people in the establishment. And because it is big people that are involved in it, that is why there is nobody in prison as a result of alleged ghost workers of 10,000, 20,000, 40,000, 50,000. I will hear huge bills. But I haven't come to incite you. I've just come to share my heart. Because in truth, nobody will get anything if you are crying, begging for favor, you wallow in self-pity, you raise emotion, see how poor I am. If some were not poor, others may not be as rich. Yes. So, don't expect that anything will change because of the quantity of tears you throw. And society will say, oh, look at him, he's really in pain. Whoever caught you know that blood will flow. Yes. So I ask you to be united on that. You have my support. If, when it matters, some states refuse to pay, if the IPC states you have my support, I will speak on it. It does not matter whether APC or PDP, Nigeria is one. The minimum wage must be implemented. It is not funding, it is not a recommendation, it has been signed into law by President Muhammad Buhari. May the law not be signed in vain. Yeah. But this is not a matter to take to church. It's a matter to take to every office. It's a matter to take to every floor. And if necessary, it's a matter to take to every street across the 36 or 37 streets across the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's a matter to be taken to every local government headquarters across the 774 local governments. You must prick the conscience of the ruling class. You go to Haiti, some of you are working in Haiti, and you take just one piece of lunch. And if you are like some people here, ask for a glass of wine, you don't want to ask for a bottle. Because the color may show that it is D, even though it's high quality liquor. And when they give you the bill, see what it is. The truth is, no